Good morning, this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Thursday the 15th of October. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, we're looking at the hourly candlesticks, slightly bearish start to the day. Going to need to see Bitcoin move through the pivot at 11,438 to support a run at the first major resistance level, saying 11,566. Going to need to see Bitcoin find support from the broader market to break back through to 11,500 levels, however, which remains a key resistance level. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect the first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 11,564 to limit any upside. In the event of a breakout, could see Bitcoin visit the second major resistance level at 11,693. Resistance at 11,700 would likely pin Bitcoin back, however. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level, saying at 11,311 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should steer clear of the second major support level, saying at 11,183. Looking at the MACDs, we've got a widening of the bullish histogram after yesterday's late bullish cross, supportive of a move northwards through the early part of the day. On the EMAs, we've also got the 50 flattening out after a pullback towards the 100. So key through the early part of the day, move through the pivot level at 11,438 to break back through to 11,500 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, range bound start to the morning. Going to need to see Ethereum move through the pivot at 379.96 to bring the first major resistance level, sitting at 386.64 into play. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break out from 385 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect the first major resistance level and yesterday's high, that was at 387.63 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, got the second major resistance level sitting at 394.3 and resistance of 400 to pin Ethereum back. Failure to move through the pivot, bring the first major support level saying at 372.3 into play. Barring an extended sell-off, should see Ethereum avoid the 38.2% pivot 367 and the second major support level sitting at 365.62. Looking at the MACD, we've got a bullish cross this morning, supportive of the late recovery yesterday and a slightly positive start to the morning. On the EMAs, however, we did have the 50 narrow on the 100 and the 200. So key through the early part of the day would be to move through the pivot level and back through to 385s to then bring the resistance levels into play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, slightly bearish start to the morning. Going to need to see Litecoin move through the pivot at 50.06 to bring the first major resistance level at 50.82 into play. Support from the broader market for Litecoin to break out from 50.50 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 51.04 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, got the second major resistance level at 51.81 and resistance at 52 to pin Litecoin back. Failure to move through the pivot brings the first major support level sitting at 49.07 into play. Barring extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should stay clear of the second major support level sitting at 48.31. Looking at the MACDs, we've got a narrowing of the bearish histograms and a possible formation of a bullish cross there, so need to keep an eye on that. On the EMAs, however, we've got a narrowing of the 50 on the 100 and the 200, supportive of a bearish morning. So key through the early part of the day would be to break back through to 50s and then out from 50.5 levels to then bring resistance levels into play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar. Range bound start to the morning here. Going to need to see Ripple XRP move through the pivot at 0.2515 to support run at the first major resistance level at 0.2566. Going to need to see extended rally through the morning for Ripple's XRP to break out from 0.255 levels, however. So barring an extended rally throughout the day, that first major resistance level should cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, could see Ripple's XRP visit 0.26 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 0.2638. Failure to move through the pivot brings the first support level sitting at 0.2442 into play. Barring extended sell-off on the day, should see Ripple's XRP avoid sub 0.24s and the second major support level sitting at 0.2391. Looking at the MACDs, we've got a marked narrowing of the bearish histograms and a possible bullish cross there. So need to keep an eye on that. On the EMAs, however, we had that bearish cross, 50 through the 100, and a narrowing onto the 200, suggestive of further downside ahead. So key through the early part of the day would be to break back through 0.25 levels and out from that pivot level through to 0.255 levels. Failure to do that could see further downside for the day ahead.